Welcome, everyone, to our advanced analytics session. Today, we are going to be talking about a new feature we are building within our Fliplet analytics tool. My name is Sophie Mawhinney. I'm our product solution manager, and I will be running you through this new feature and actually giving you an exciting demo of it. So let's get going. As always, if you have any questions, please pop them into the Zoom Q&A at the bottom. We may not have time to get to them, but as always, we'll get back to you with the answers if we don't get to them at the end of the session. And like we've been doing during our summit, we're really excited to give anyone early access to this. So specifically for this tool, we're looking at anyone that would like access to advanced analytics. We're looking for some feedback and ways that we can improve the feature. And if you're someone that is regularly using our current analytics dashboard, or you are producing custom reports or anything for your business, we think this could be super exciting for you. So we'd love to hear from you. Please continue the trend of typing analytics this time into the Q&A section, and we will reach directly out to you about it. So I'm going to give you a little summary and highlight some of the main features before we jump into the demo. So our AI advanced analytics tool is powered by AI, as the name suggests, and it's going to enable users to generate comprehensive reports for their apps powered by the analytics that your apps currently produce. You'll be able to kind of assess that information and share the information, of course. So the tool will provide a detailed insight to your app's kind of behavior, performance, key metrics to it, and really helping you kind of make decisions around your app and its usage and all those exciting things. So for those of you that have used our analytics dashboard or current tool, it is a great feature. It has lots of information, useful information. The information is high level and a bit of a overview of what's happening within your app. Exporting the data is kind of user manual, I would say. You do kind of have to download those reports and save them and maybe tweak them depending on what you're specifically looking for. There's not really any interpretation of the analytics. It does give you a lot of good data, but depending on what you're kind of looking to do with that data, you may have to manually manipulate or do some digging, really. And there's not really any ability, or there isn't any ability besides reaching out to someone with Fliplet, but to ask additional questions with that data. So again, great tool, really good insights, but we're hoping that the advanced analytics add-on can really add some benefits and some useful tools to help you better use the data you have. So as we said, it's going to give you a detailed analysis of the data that you're seeing in that dashboard. It's going to allow you to download that report, share it, do whatever you want with it. You'll be able to schedule the report to be sent to you or anyone else within your business on specific timeframes, so you don't have to continuously go back into the dashboard. You'll be able to schedule that reporting. And again, there's an interactive chat that's allowing you to ask questions and kind of bounce back and forth with ideas. So as I mentioned, we have a few key features to this. So the detailed report, which you'll see in our exciting demo in a minute, it's going to give you an overview of your most used screens and features, your least used screens, operating system usage, and communication data. So this is what we are beginning to give, the first iteration of this report. As people start using it and seeing what's more useful, we can kind of tweak what we are seeing in the report. But this is what you'll be seeing in today's version of it, along with an analysis of it. You'll also have the option to export the report. So you can download it to your own device, share it with whomever, or keep it for yourself. As we also touched on, there is the ability for automating the reports. So again, we have a full dashboard where you can go in, choose the date, time, frequency that you want this report to go, who you want it to go to. So obviously probably send it to yourself, but then I want to share it with some other team members, maybe an external client. There's the ability to share that with whoever you need to share it with. And then lastly, our interactive chat. This is, again, powered by AI, taking the data that is being fed to it from our app, as well as the analytics, the data from our app, the raw data. And with that, you're enabling you to kind of chat with it, ask questions, and dive a bit deeper into your analytics. So now the exciting part. We will go ahead and jump into our demo. So before I start, this is still kind of in works. We've gotten a really good demo together for you today, but there may be some tweaks and changes before you see it going live. But I'm going to give you a run through of how it works. So again, for those of you that are familiar with Fliplet Studio, you'll see here I'm on your analytics dashboard for my specific app, my Fliptonians app. You'll see this kind of banner message at the top of it, enabling you to use our AI detailed report. So I'm going to go ahead and jump into that. I can see here I have my kind of report setup stage. So the first thing I want to do is to go into these settings. So the settings are important to note that this is additional information that you're giving to AI to help it kind of analyze your data better and understand really the usage of your app and what you're trying to get out of it. So this won't be something that you need to do every single time you are going into this report. The information will be retained, but you want to make sure you're filling this out with as much information as possible. The more info it has, the better answer to questions it's going to give you. So I'm going to go ahead and pop this in here. So I have given an overview of the purpose of my app. This is our Fliptonians internal employee app. So I've just given a little bit of some information on the purpose of it. I'm going to describe our users. I'm going to say spa. Our features, I want to again outline some of the key features. This is just allowing it to have really as much information as it can to what is the purpose of the app, what am I trying to do with it, what features do I have in it. We then down here have another section that is optional, but the more we give, the better answers we're going to get back. So this will be inserting our screens and telling the report the purpose of our screen. So we could use this insert screen button. It would here populate all of my screens, and then I can go ahead and give the functionality of each of the screens, describe it. And again, AI needs to understand the purpose and the functionality of these to provide relevant recommendations. So that would be my first step of it. I could fill this out the first time I come in here and never come back again and change it. If I'm making tweaks or changes to my app, adding screens, that's when I maybe want to come back into this report and submit it and make some changes to it just so I can get some better outputs. So I've saved that. I'm now going to come back to my dashboard. I am going to select my date range that I want to produce this information for. So I have chose the last month. So what it's going to do is going to read all of my app data from the last month. So you'll see here I have September 1st through the 30th. This is pulling data from my app as well as the data that I have just input on the settings screen, combining it to build this report for me. So if I come down here and scroll down a bit, you'll see I have this nice report for me. So I have a summary here in a table view of my most used screens or features. This is kind of ranking them from the total number of views. It is worth mentioning that the data that it has received for privacy reasons, we're not giving it any user data, any personal email addresses, anything relating to the actual user. We are using information such as clicks, interactions. We'll go through that in a little bit too, but worth noting that there's no personal information that is given into the app. So you won't be seeing people's email addresses. You won't be seeing, Ian was the top user of this app. In the future, if we do want to have something like that and you want to give AI that information, we could tweak this report to have that capability. So anyways, back to my report here, you can see I have a nice table identifying the most used screens, and underneath it, I have a little analysis. So the leave calculator was the most access, indicating high interest in managing and planning time off. Very surprising, right? Also, the holiday booking was also one. So this has taken what it has been given data-wise and given me an analysis. And you'll see that kind of trend going down through the report here. I can see my least used features, a little bit of a summary. I can see my operating systems, where people are using this. It looks like most people are accessing it through a Mac device, computer device. And down to communication data, this is giving me an analysis of 2 emails were sent, no push notifications, etc. Below that, I will see here now some recommendations to improve engagement. So, for instance, we have promote underused features. So this is suggesting maybe the Fliplet colleague handbook's not really used. How can I promote that and improve its functionalities? Increased communication, as we could see from our table here. There wasn't much going on with communication. One of the top things here it is suggesting is to implement and utilize push notifications to enhance user engagement. So again, a really good high-level report of what's happening within our analytics without having to kind of go through the numbers and look and see counting number of screens and counting number of usage and such. So it gives us a nice high-level information of the usage of our app, analyzes it, and then gives us some recommendations to improve it. So that is our report. I will jump now into, you see our nice little chatbot here. This is our report assistant. It's here to guide you and ask any questions. So there's a couple questions here. It's suggesting engagement trends. What is the engagement? What are trends we're seeing within the app? App improvement tips. How can I improve my app? It would probably suggest, some of the unused screens, maybe enhancing the functionality on those. But I'm going to ask it a couple questions. So one of our recommendations was to send more push notifications. So what I'm going to ask it is, can you suggest some sample push notifications to increase usage? So this is going to have a think. It's going to review the data that it has been given. And if we scroll back up here, we can see here are some sample push notifications tailored to increase usage. So leave management, here's the title of it, and then here's the text for it. Expense submission, don't forget to submit your expenses. Feature awareness, highlighting new features. So this is something I could take directly from this, maybe make some small tweaks, go into my push notification section of my app or Fliplet Studio and go ahead and send some notifications out to my user. So again, it's taking information from my app. It knows my app, it knows what my screens are, and suggesting this kind of text without me having to tell it too much. So exciting feature or exciting feedback there. Something else I could probably say is how could I increase the usage of, let's see, my Fliplet colleague screen. So we see no one's really going to that screen. I'm going to ask the chat, how can I increase the usage of it? So again, it gives me some good information. Maybe I need some app tutorials, show people how to use it. Again, push notifications, coming back to that fact that we're not using those push notifications. It's understood that, so it's pushing us to use push notifications. Highlight in the onboarding, maybe our employees don't know about it. Keeping it updated, increasing usage and engagement, etc. So really good way to kind of take this overall information, ask it questions, get some ideas, bounce back and forth with it. And yeah, we think it's pretty exciting. So 2 other quick things I will point out is we have our download button here. This is going to allow you to download everything you're seeing on the screen here, the report and the chat. That will download that and save that to my device. Again, I can use it, share it, whatever I want to do with it. And then lastly, as I mentioned, we could go in and schedule this report. So say I wanted it at Mondays to go out at 4:00 p.m. I would set that, select my time zone, and here's where I would put my users that I want to share that with, my email address, anyone else, and I would schedule that, and that would go out to me every Monday at 4 p.m. So very exciting tool. I will quickly just jump back into a couple things to point out before I pass over to our next demo. As we mentioned, no personal user data is shared at the minute. We're obviously adhering to any privacy policies. We won't be sharing that data. The data that we are gathering from the app are things like navigation and screen interaction. So things like specific screens, going into LFDs or accordion. So you could say to AI, how many times was Ian Broom's directory submission open? That could read that LFD and see 10 people have gone to look at his profile. Interactions from forms, so submit and clear. I could ask it how many times has the employee EDAP survey been submitted. It could come back and say 100 times. Content interactions, so things like filtering, bookmarking, liking, clicking on URLs. We can ask it how many times was fliplet.com opened from within my app. It could answer those questions. Also operating system usage, email and push notification data, all that's being gathered. So those are great questions we could use to, or great points of data that we could ask questions off of. And we'll share all this with you as the feature goes live.